But interestingly, if you look at the cases that have gone to the adjudicators, on average, the motorist wins more than 50% of those appeals, and in 25% of the total appeals, the councils actually give up before the hearing.
Ooh.
So the cowboy operators have more gumption, have they? They're more up for a fight.
Well, the private parking ticket operators operate in a much more different way. They're there to make profit, and some would say they don't care how they do it. Councils are not permitted by law to make a profit. They can only recover their costs of roads, etc.
So, for example, if you were parking for too long in a Sainsbury's car park because you went off and did your other shopping, or if you'd gone to the hospital and you couldn't find a parking space but you didn't want to miss your appointment and you parked somewhere dodgy and you got a ticket, you probably wouldn't have much success in challenging those?
Well, if you were attending a hospital appointment and you parked on the road, councils will in the main be quite understanding. Sorry about that.
All right,
I thought I'd switched that off.
Somebody towing your car away.
I hope not. So they would be more acceptable. Private companies, for example, your example with Sainsbury's, much more difficult, but not impossible.
Okay. Well, this is good advice. I mean, parking attendants, is it a tough job? Should we have sympathy for ticket inspectors?
It's a horrible job.
I mean, I just see a ticket inspector. I'm so sorry if we've got ticket inspectors watching, and I don't feel warmth and affection.
Yeah. It's a horrible job. You're out in all weathers. Councils say there aren't targets, but whistleblowers...
Right. So they're going out saying, I need to give 10 tickets today or in the next 2 hours, and they actively go and look to cause misery.
Yes. But it puts a terrible pressure on them, and they may... And so I have a great sympathy. The real problem is that motorists don't appeal when they should. They just roll over too easily.
Isn't the main problem is that motorists park in the wrong places at the wrong times?
Sometimes, but a lot of cases they're parked correctly and they just get tickets. So, for example, if you're a business and you're parked and you're unloading or loading, that's perfectly permissible. The problem is that the parking attendant doesn't look at your vehicle long enough to see that you're taking something up to the fifth floor or something and give you a ticket. And then suddenly the onus is on you to appeal.
Yeah.
Well, I have always been of the opinion that we should have parking facilitators as opposed to parking wardens. You know, people who say, look, come in here now, Mr. Segal, we can give you 15 minutes in that space as long as you offload quickly and away you go, and then we'll let Mr. Holmes in behind you or whatever.
Well, that's a very good point. In fact, councils can, but don't really do it, issue a warning. So they don't actually have to ticket you. They put a warning on your vehicle saying, please don't park here. When Sir Eric Pickles was in charge of that area, he introduced the 10-minute rule for paid parking bays. So if you overstayed 10 minutes, you weren't allowed to be given a ticket. And I would like to see him much more involved again in parking, because I think he would make it much fairer.
I think it's harder than ever to park your car. I mean, it's something we talk about, isn't it? If you do want to just pop into the shops, really quickly grab a pint of milk, it's impossible.
It's very hard. It's very hard. You really need two people, a driver who drives round and the person going to get the milk.
Yeah.